One of the most powerful features in Coda are what are known as their user-specific filters. What that simply means is that when you log into Coda, you see items that are relevant to you and not to anyone else. I'm going to show you how to implement them quickly with just a few clicks, and then I'm going to show you how to use it in a more advanced way to support full teams. So let's get going. All right, so here in the page, I have a My Tasks table. This My Tasks table obviously is not just my tasks yet. You'll see here that in the assignee column, I am this little orange bubble. That's me, Scott Weir. A lot of these tasks aren't mine. In order to make this relevant to me as the viewer or the user, you can simply come here to our assignee column, choose to filter it, add a filter bar in Canvas control. If you're not sure what the difference between these are, I have another video all about filters and you can learn about that in the links below. But right now we're just gonna add a filter. You'll see that the first selection here is just current user. Because I am Scott, I get to see this. You'll see something interesting happen though. When I filtered that out, it says equals exactly. So you'll see here, I'm actually in this one, and this one. So when I initially put that filter in, I'm actually gonna change that equals exactly to something else. So let's filter, add a filter. Instead of equals exactly, let's say contains any of the current user. Now I am able to see any tasks that have me inside of this assignee column, which is fantastic. And that means that Daniel here, if Daniel signs in, he's actually gonna see his set as well. We can be using the exact same page and be seeing things that are only relevant to us. Next off, there's another way to do it as well. Maybe you want to provide more flexibility where you see all yours by default, but if you want to see a broader team view, you totally can. So let's show you that. Let's delete this filter. And instead of doing what I call a hard-coded filter, we're going to do a filter bar. So let's come back here, filter, add to filter bar. Right now you'll see that this says assignee is Scott. Kind of cool, because now I can X that out, but there's some other really cool things we could do with this filter bar to make it a bit more usable. So let's go back to the options on the table and let's filter. On the filter bar, I've added assignee. I can add other things, due date, status, team. But over assignee, I can click this little cogwheel on the right-hand side, and I can show it as a current user toggle, which is really cool because it changes that to only show me. You can even change the name of that to just my tasks, wherever else you would like. And you could turn the default to on. So now when anyone logs in, they'll see this blue thing engaged and it says just my tasks. And now I can quickly come in, turn that off and see everything. So now I've got a button that quickly toggles this view back and forth between my tasks and everyone's. This does only affect me, so don't worry about having 15 people on here at once. Everyone can use it simultaneously without interrupting other people's selections. All right, so those are the simple and quick ways to filter down by user. But honestly, most people don't use something like that because they don't want to just do my tasks. They may want to do my team's tasks. So let's say here that team, all these tasks are actually assigned to a team, either engineering, HR, or product. I'm going to go ahead and put that across. And now, what if I don't want to just see my task, but I want to see my team's tasks automatically? Well, how we can do that is we're actually going to create what's called a mapping table, where we're going to map and say who is on what team, and then filter it down by those associations. So first off, a mapping table means we're going to need two different tables, one called teams and one called team directory. Okay. What I'm going to do here now is I could do it actually on either table, but I can go here and call this team. I'm going to make this a selection from my teams table. So I think I have a table called teams. This is a relation type column. You'll see this is pulling from teams, and I've got engineering, HR, and product. So I'm going to assign myself the engineering tasks, HR, and product. Let's do one more and one more. All right. So now we can write a formula that refers to who I am. So I'm going to create something called, usually we create a backend page that's going to be hidden called variables. We usually, as a team, as a firm, store these in grids, and we call this formula, name, and description. So I'm going to, in a formula, define who the current user is, right? So I'm going to press the equal button here on my keyboard, equals. That opens up the formula editor, and I'm going to find out which row from the teams table is mine, okay? So let's go in here, and I'll press equals, and I'll say team, nope, I'm going to say our team dot filter to where the person is equal to the user. Again, user is this dynamic formula that will register the logged in user. So I personally am Scott Weir, so it's showing Scott Weir. This will show, if Daniel was online right now, it would show him instead. Now we got to give this a name. I'm actually going to dot first it. That's going to pull only a single entry. Up here, I'm going to add a name and call this logged user. Okay. Then just for documentation purposes, I'm going to log it here, and then I'm going to say the current logged in user from the our team table. Again, this is not necessary. I'm just showing you best practice how we organize our Coda documents and all of our global level variables. So from here now, I have a named variable in my document called logged user. All right, so let's go to team directory, come back. I'm going to say logged user dot team. Great. There we go. I'm going to go called logged user team. Awesome. I'm going to call that logged user team. The current team of the logged in user. All right. So what that's going to allow me to do then is go to my task table, and I'm going to put a different filter on this. For the filter, I'm actually going to add a formula, and I'm just going to say team is equal to logged user team. You'll see that now I have these variables because I named them earlier in the document. They're now available to me in formulas. So now I can say current team is logged user team, and you'll see that even though this task is assigned to Aaron, well, I'm on the engineering team, so I need to be aware of it. And now I can also do just my tasks. So that's really nice because now I can combine those two different filters and I can see just mine, or I can take that off and see just my team tasks as well. And they're assigned to Aaron, and we can actually go see that change right now. If I just go take my team directory and reassign me to product, the moment I change that, it actually changed the tasks that I get to see. I'm now seeing all the product tasks. And of course, if I change myself to HR, I'm gonna go and see all the HR tasks that are related to me. One other thing we do, and this is a Coda user power tip, so stick around, this is the last piece. Maybe you are the doc owner and you're trying to help someone else. How can you see their view? Well, what we usually do is we create something called a override, our test user. From test user, we will actually create it as a relation control, so that's /relation. I'm gonna then take that from the our team and make one. I'm going to name this test user. So now you'll see that I can actually see the different people in the document. I'm going to put test user as Daniel. What we're going to do now is make this logged user actually refer to that. So we're going to say, we're going to copy this whole formula. And let's go back here, copy the formula. I'm going to say if the test user dot is blank, then just take the logged in person. If not, take the test user. Okay, so now you'll see that even though I am Scott, now the logged user is actually registering as Daniel. Let's go look at Daniel's team. Daniel's on the product team. Because Daniel is on the product team, if I go to my task, I'm gonna see product. So now I'm actually able to visualize this document as Daniel sees it. So if Daniel messages me on Slack and says, hey man, I don't know where my tasks are, I only have 18 today. Instead of going like, can you share your screen? What do you see? I can actually go into the back and log myself as a test user. Because this is a personal control, this actually doesn't mess up anyone else. Everyone else is still seeing the doc as themselves, but you as an admin can go and log yourself as someone else to see what they're seeing. And then we'll go to blank. There actually, believe it or not, are a lot of different ways you can leverage these kind of user-specific formulas and variables across your document and across your tables, either to make it more personal or more secure. If you have any questions about how to do that, put them in the comments below.